Hello and welcome to Byju's IAS. Let's get started and look into our daily quiz. Let's look into the first question. With reference to Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act, which of the following statements are correct? It applies to conduct or commission of an act that harms or injures or has the potential to harm or injure an individual. It does not include omission. Domestic violence includes physical, financial, sexual violence, and not emotional abuse, which is the major drawback of this act. The law also covers children. Which of the statements are correct with respect to the Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act? The answer to this is 3 only. Now the question is, why is the first statement wrong? We have to look at two key words in this particular statement. One is the conduct or commission, the other is the omission. This particular act also includes omission as well. What do we mean by it? First, let us understand what is conduct or commission. Let's say there is a particular person, he picks up the knife, goes and kills another individual. So what is he doing? He is performing an act. What is he doing? He is engaging himself in killing another individual. So an act is being performed, that is what is called as conduct or commission. So commissioning of the crime, killing of another person, this is conduct or commission. Now what is omission? Let's say there is a particular person, a public authority, he has the responsibility to safeguard the public. So what should he do? He ideally, in case there is a dacoity that is happening or there is a murder that is happening right in front of him, this public authority, let's say a police officer, will ideally have to stop this. But this particular person, if he does not do it, that is called as omission. I as an individual, I don't have the responsibility to stop another person from committing another act of killing because I'm not a public servant. Hypothetical situation. But if there is a police personnel, his authority is to stop such an act. But if he does not stop, that is what is called as omission. Now, if we have to compare this to Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act, if there is physical abuse that is perpetuated by a man or by his relatives on a woman, or financial abuse asking the women to get dowry, or there is a sexual violence that is perpetuated in India, we do not have the marital rape. But when the woman is forced to have sexual intercourse, that can also fall under the Domestic Violence Act as well. So when such is committed on the women, that is what is called as commission of an act with respect to Domestic Violence Act. This particular act also includes emotional abuse as well. This also includes verbal abuse as well. So if a man commits an emotional abuse, that also falls under the Domestic Violence Act. But what about omission? Let's say there is a housewife, she is dependent on the husband does not take care of the wife, indeed does not take care of the children. Ideally he has the responsibility to take care of the wife and the children, but he is not doing it. So he is violating his duty, so he is omitting his duty, so he is not conducting an activity which he is rightfully supposed to do. That is what is called as omission. So on one side, when an act is committed, that is conduct or the commission. When an act is not committed, where ideally he is supposed to do it, that is where the omission happens. In this particular law, yes, the law also covers children as well. So the Domestic Violence Act is one of the act which prevents domestic violence being inflicted on the women. Why have we taken this practice question? Because of the reference in this article. Now let's look into the next practice question. Consider the following statements with respect to green hydrogen. This is produced from fossil fuels with carbon capture and storage technologies and is less polluting. Green hydrogen can be used in industry and can be stored in existing gas pipelines to power household appliances. Which of these statements are correct? The answer to this is B. Why? That is because when you look into the first statement, it is not speaking about green hydrogen, but instead it is speaking about blue hydrogen. So what is this blue hydrogen? First, let us understand the types of hydrogen that are present. First hydrogen that we have is what is called as the gray hydrogen. What is this gray hydrogen? Basically, if the hydrogen is produced from the fossil fuels and it also involves significant emission of the carbon dioxide, that is what is called as gray hydrogen. So hydrogen is produced from the fossil fuels, but there is emission of the carbon dioxide during this particular process, which is called as gray hydrogen. Then what we have is called as the blue hydrogen. What is this blue hydrogen? Basically, it is produced from the fossil fuels, yes, but there is carbon capture and storage technologies for the emission as well. So in the earlier process, there was just emission, but there was no carbon capture. But in the blue hydrogen, there is carbon capture and storage techniques. Then what we have is called as the turquoise hydrogen. What is this turquoise hydrogen? This is produced from natural gas using the pyrolysis technique. Since it again uses the fossil fuel and there is still presence of the CO2 emissions, which is why it is called as the turquoise hydrogen. Finally, what we have is the green hydrogen. Basically, when the hydrogen is produced using renewable energy, making it more suitable because the energy that is being used is renewable energy and there is extraction of the hydrogen. So when hydrogen, when produced by electrolysis process using the renewable energy, that is what is called as green energy. Since the first statement is speaking about blue hydrogen, this statement is wrong. So the answer to this would be 2 only. Why have we taken this practice question? Because of the reference in the PIB article. Now let's look into the next practice question. Arrange the types of coal on the basis of carbon content from the highest to the lowest rank. We have peat, bituminous, anthracite, lignite. The answer to this is 3241. What is this question asking for? When we look into the coal, it has different types of carbon content. The higher the carbon content, the better is the coal, the better is the burning capacity of this particular coal. So if we have to assign a ranking from the highest to the lowest, first what we have is the anthracite, followed by bituminous, followed by lignite, and finally what we have is peat. If we have to arrange them in alphabetical order, what we will have is anthracite first, followed by bituminous, followed by lignite, and finally what we have is P. So remember this alphabetical order ABLP, where if there is a question that is asked in preliminary, just remember to arrange them in the alphabetical order, and that will give you the significant point of arranging from the highest to the lowest. Why have we taken this practice question? Because of the reference to the coal in this PIB article. So when we look into the peat, this is usually not listed as a coal since it has very low burning capacity and low energy source as well, which is why peat is placed at last when it comes to the coal productivity. Followed by this is what is called as lignite. It is usually called a soft brown coal and it contains high amount of water, which is why in ranking it is placed last second. Lignite has higher heat content than peat, but it is not desired when it comes to higher activities like smelting, so on and so forth. Followed by lignite, what we have is bituminous. This is formed as more pressure is applied to the lignite soil, and this bituminous can be further broken down into subbituminous or bituminous. So there are two types. One is the bituminous, the other is what is called as subbituminous as well. And finally, the best coal is what is called as anthracite, and this has very lightweight compared to other forms of coal, and anthracite has the highest heat content. Anthracite is formed when bituminous coal is subjected to greater pressures. Now let's look into the next practice question. Nishta, recently seen in news, is a campaign launched by the Department of Pharmaceuticals to provide quality medicines at affordable prices. Program aimed at improving learning outcomes at the elementary level through an integrated teacher training program. Web portal for citizens to report children cited as abandoned, lost, or with suspicious person. Scheme under which cash benefits are provided to pregnant women in their bank account directly. Which of the statements are correct with respect to Nishta? The answer to this is it is a program aimed at improving learning outcomes at the elementary level through an integrated teacher training program. Why have we taken this practice question? Because of the reference given in the PIB article. What does NISTA stands for? It stands for National Institute for School Heads and Teachers Holistic Advancement Program. This particular program happens to come under Samagra Shiksha program, which is a centrally sponsored scheme. What is the objective of this particular program? The objective is to ensure that teachers are adaptive to the changing circumstances. They are competent enough to teach the younger students so that they can ignite competency in the students as well. So when they are competent enough, they can teach the students and they can also infuse critical thinking by the students as well. So basically, the basic objective of this training program is to motivate and equip teachers to encourage and foster critical thinking in the students. Now let's look into the next practice question. What is are common to two historical places known as Ajanta and Mahabalipuram? Both were built in the same period. Both belong to the same religious denomination. Both have rock cut monuments. Select the correct answer using the code given below. The answer to this is 3 only. When you look into the first statement, this is wrong because both were not built during the same period. When it comes to Ajanta, it was built during 200 BC to 650 AD by the Vakataka kings, but when it comes to Mahabalipuram, it was built in 7th to 8th century by the Pallava kings. When it comes to Ajanta, it is nothing but a Buddhist cave, but when it comes to Mahabalipuram, it is a Hindu cave. So what we have is a difference. So 1 is out, 2 is out. So the answer to this is 3 only. Now let's look into the fact of the day. The fact of the day for today's discussion is black soft-shelled turtle. This particular species is currently found where? One in the northeastern part of India, the other is in Bangladesh. Where is it found in northeastern part of India? It is found in the state of Assam. So kindly remember, this particular species is present in India in the northeastern part and also in Bangladesh. Previously, when you go back to the year 2002, this particular species was declared as extinct, but then it was found in one of the temple in India that happens to be Hayagriva Madhava temple, which is why it was not extinct right now, but it is put under critically endangered list by the IUCN. So from the preliminary examination point of view, do remember the IUCN status of black soft-shelled turtle is critically endangered. But this particular species is currently not protected under Indian Wildlife Protection Act of 1972, which happens to be a major threat for this particular species. Because it does not have protection under this particular legislation, it is being hunted for its meat, for the cartilage. It is traded regionally as well as in the international market. So it is the responsibility of the government to put it under this particular protection act, and at the same time, currently when you look into this article, conservation efforts are being undertaken by different groups. So a major temple in Assam has signed a memorandum of understanding with two green NGOs, the Assam State Geocom Botanical Garden and the Kamrup District Administration have entered into a conservation for this particular turtle. And at the same time, these organizations are also constantly engaging in mass awareness program on the conservation of the species of turtle, which is what we have to understand in reference to this black soft-shelled turtle. It is this that we have to understand in reference to this practice question. So this is it for today. Thank you for watching. All the best.